will celebrate you. A lot of times in relationships, I find that, we go along to get along, is the old saying, just to be around people, whether they are, investors in our plan or investors in us. We go along to get along, just to be around people. We need to be connected to those that value us, those that are willing to go beyond knowing who they are, but to go beyond self and express selflessness to help us nurture our gifts. I found that a lot of times, when you're a part of a larger ministry or ministry period, when you're on the ministry team, your pastor and not saying anything about any particular pastor, but that man or woman of God is vested in their vision, and you're a part of that vision team. But then it's like, well, when is pastor, like you said, you're sitting there, when is pastor going to notice me? I found out that women in ministry, and people in ministry, period, when you're a part of that larger team, you have to become creative. You have to call on that creative gifting inside of you and create that moment for yourself. And spread your wings and go beyond those walls, seeking out people that have a gift like you. Like Apostle said, I had to seek out the prophets. Who were the other prophets? Other people that were willing not only to recognize the prophetic gift inside of me, but were willing to invest in the prophetic gift inside of me, whether by demonstration. And yes, we had the prophetic empowerment team, whether they say, come along and be a part of this team, let your gifts be nurtured. A lot of times we sometimes shy away from that, and we decide to stay in our comfort zone. But in this season that we're about to grasp a hold and walk into, seek out others that share the gifting that you said. Seek out others that are already doing what you're doing, and look and expect to find those and choose to find those that value you and are willing to celebrate you.
Awesome. And I totally agree with that, because I just want to share this with the listeners, especially those that are looking for mentors, looking for someone to pour into their lives. Yes, and be careful of who you seek after. Pray about it, because I thought I had found someone, and I'm, again, being transparent, come to find out they were trying to get something that I was connected to. So sometimes you have to use your discernment in finding that person that you're seeking after. Even though they weren't, let's just say I've learned to trust my discernment in seeking someone to be a mentor for me. Apostle?
Yes. One of the things I want to say is, your mentor does not have to be in your presence.
Exactly.
Your mentor you do not have to have your mentor's ear or their ear. I've been mentored from afar. Now, I want to say this. Sometimes mentorship costs.
Yes.
You have to be willing to sue. Like Bishop Bloomer was one of my mentors, and I would get up and just drive to North Carolina to be in his Bible study, because he had what I needed. I drove to New York to Bernard Jordan's. I flew to Bill Heyman's, and other people are flying to Bill Winston's. Whoever has what you need, not just a conference goer, but you're going to get information, so you can be mentored without actually having conversation with a person, and then you don't have to discern what they're trying to get from you, because it's you getting information, mentorship information. And so there's many ways mentorship, and if you have a person that's ministering to thousands of people a day, but yet they have what you need, you're not going to have a personal audience with them. But you have to be mature enough and grown enough to be able to go ahead and get the information and nurture that, develop that. And I just wanted to make sure that people are not turned off because they can't get their mentor's ear, or they can't call their mentor on the phone. There are different levels of mentorship, and then it becomes dependency. If we're not careful, we become dependent on that individual, and that's for another lesson, but another class. But just know that you can be mentored from a class. You can be mentored from material. mentor is taught, shared, and I don't know that everybody would agree with me, but that's how I see that, because I don't know. I mean, I do know Bernard Jordan personally, but I don't know him personally. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to a lot of that Juanita Bynum taught. I don't know her personally, but I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot of things from her. I do know Bishop Bloomer personally, and I do know other people that have mentored me through the years in different formats and as I needed it. So that teacher will appear when you're ready for it. And then there are people who you don't even expect, who have no name, but who are willing to share nuggets with you. But that's all it is. It's a chance encounter. Nuggets are shared. You grow and go, and you never maybe meet that person again. So I just want mentorship to be looked at not necessarily as somebody holding your hand, but somebody who's feeding you with information to get you to your next level.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. And that was rich right there, because sometimes we mix mentorship up. I was just blessed enough to be able to meet these ladies and as everybody say, have their numbers. But I also traveled. I'm just going to piggyback. When they said they were going to be somewhere, I was there. Even with different prophets that were in the School of Prophets when they were traveling, if they were in town or close by, because of my profession, it's hard for me to just get away. But if I've heard that they were in town, I would do my best to go support them in something that they were doing in town. So you have to be mature enough, again, like Apostle was saying, to be able to grab hold to things that are out there and then know the difference between having a personal audience with somebody and being able to learn from different things and read the books, go out and talk to the people, go out and do what you have to do. And then sometimes, and as I love to say this one, sometimes it's that small country church preacher that's going to be able to pour in you more than some of these quote unquote big time preachers, because the small country preacher don't have nothing to lose, and they going to tell you the truth. They going to pray about it. They going to give you stuff that you would be like, wow, I didn't even think about it like that. So don't look at someone's ministry. Don't judge somebody's ministry by what they can do for you. You can't judge the book by looking at the cover, because some people are just not called, for lack of a better statement, to the masses. Some people are just called to that small congregation of 50, but they got some major insight in how to help you get to where you need to be to reach where you're trying to go. Do y'all agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't have what you call a mega ministry or a mega church, but I do have mega understanding, and I have, not boasting or bragging, the Lord has allowed me to minister and mentor many, many people who themselves don't have big ministries, but they're successful at what they do. Mm-hmm. But big is relative, because if you're called to something and you're successful at what you're called at, whether it's to 5 people or 1 million people, God honors that. And so most of us will not have large churches or large ministries, but we'll have effective ministries.
Exactly.
Amen.
And you know what, ladies? I hate to say this, but can you believe it is time for the show to end? My God, we have been, yes, wow. I want us to take the last 4 minutes, and I want to give each of you 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to speak a word to our listeners as we approach 2017. If you could give them, wherever you want to go. This show 2.5 minutes. Whoever want to go first.
I will. I just hear the Spirit of the Lord say to be encouraged in this season, to not look back and complain, but to look forward and grab a hold of, to be excited about what you have obtained, to be gracious about what God has given you to do for you. I hear the Lord say, dream big. And my last minute, the Lord had gave me a word that we should get a box with a lid on it and write on the box, God's box. And things that are difficult or that we can't see ourselves doing, put it in the box. And God said, hold him accountable. Put it in your God's box. G-O-D''S. This is God's problem. Put it in the box, and then in 6 months, go back and just be able to tally what he did for you and hold him accountable and look at what happened. Did you receive what you asked God for? Did you not? Was it your fault? Something you could do? He just said he wanted us to be accountable and to see actually see what he's doing in our lives.
Wow.
Dr. Mowbray, you.
Yes, I hear the Spirit of the Lord say tonight to all of our listeners, invent your next chapter. I hear the Spirit of the Lord say there's many of us that feel in our spirit or feel that in our lifetime that we have uncompleted tasks. God said, in this next season, invent your own chapter and begin to finish those things that I have called you to do. I hear the Spirit of the Lord say, you think lack of resources, you think lack of money or time or opportunity, but God says provision does not show up until the visionary begins to take the leap of faith. So take your leap of faith and watch and see if your provision does not show up for you. And that's the word of the Lord tonight.
Wow, my God. I'm just like, I'm blown away. I'm blown away because not only are you speaking to the listeners, you have definitely spoken to me because I am taking a leap of faith in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen that are on the air, that are listening, you're listening to the rebroadcast, I just want to share with you the whole idea of this show changed tremendously. It was supposed to be one thing and then God dropped in my spirit. How in the world can you be saying that 2017 is going to be the year of the woman and you don't have women on your 2017 show? And take it a step further, you don't have women that have sold into you, not only mentally fit and financially supported you in things that you've done. How in the world can you not have these women on this show? Because when I got the vision of what I wanted to do in 2017, trust and believe, I have ran it by both of them and they were like, wow. And so for 2017, I am going to announce right now, we will be launching the Fempire Tour. On this tour, we will be featuring women ministers. So be looking out. More information is coming. I am so excited about this. No, it's not male bashing, but it is giving the women in ministry a voice. We see gentlemen run. We see our brothers in ministry running revivals all the time, but I've never seen women running a full revival. There will be a revival on Thursday night, Friday night, and then on Saturday, we will have Hats and Heels, and all of this is going to be sponsored through Conversations with Deborah Franklin. Hats and Heels is going to be a live recording of conversations. You'll be able to see the guests. You'll be able to ask questions. You'll be able to participate in everything that we're doing. So please be on the lookout. And when I tell you doors have already started opening up in 2016 for 2017, I'm blown away. Had a meeting today and it was like, Deborah, I got you. I can do this. I can do this. I can do that. So when I tell you, you have got to start planning and make sure that you get your box and say that in your box, that this is God's box. Apostle, that's hot. I'm getting ready to get my box now. I'm getting my box before I leave. I'm not going to say I'm going to get it before I leave Texas, but I promise you before 2017 start, I will have a box with a lid on it. And overseer, I totally agree with you. This is the year for 2017. You have got to invent your own chapter. That is amazing. Stop living on everybody else's page. Get on your own page and develop your own chapter. Because in 2017, if you are not doing you're going to get left behind. So, ladies, where can we find you? Can we find you on social media? What can we do to hear more from you?
This is Apostle Green. I do have a social media. I am on Facebook, just under Apostle Paula Green, Green with an E. I do have a website, again, Apostle Paula Green Ministries, and that's pretty much how it can be reached.
This is Overseer Dr. Mowbray. You can find me on Facebook or on Instagram, and it's Dr. Carolyn Mowbray. Or you can email me at carolynmowbray1@gmail.com.
Awesome. And of course, you can find me at conversationsdeborahfranklin.com. Guys, it's been real. It's been fun, but we're going to have to say bye. Have a good one. See you next week. In fact, see you on 2017. Have a good one. Bye-bye.